Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joshua Dickey. I'll be reading from my book, Patriot's Journey Forging Hope. And I've been reading inspirational quotes or um, just quotes that are interesting, basically. And this one comes from Tupac. And it says, "Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside while still alive. Never surrender." So I think what Tupac's trying to say there is don't give up on yourself. Keep fighting for what you feel like you should be inside and keep working towards that. Because if you have this emotional numbness, like a lot of us do, uh, like I do too, and I've been working really, really hard to try to um, get rid of that numbness because I don't want to feel dead inside. I want to be able to have sympathy and empathy for people. I want to care when somebody else cares. If somebody's upset about something, I want it to bother me as well. Maybe not to the point it bothers them, but I want it to, show them that I care just about something just as much as they do. And it's not just words. Because far too often, my wife or my children will be like, they'll be really upset and they'll be crying about something, and I'm just blankly staring at them, and then they start really questioning probably why they should be crying because I'm not, or I'm not emotional about something, and that's the wrong thing I want to portray. I don't want to portray that image. If they want to be upset about something, good. Hey, more power to you. What do they say about crying? It washes things away. Well, you could do it. Do it. And I hope to not get back to where, because I've never been a crier, but at least I can feel what they are feeling and show empathy and sympathy for, whatever situation they're facing. But with that, my first poem is called "Strength in Him" because I've been, like I said, I've been taking more of a religious stance on things. I know a lot of people might not take a religious standpoint or a higher power, if you will, whatever. Same thing. Because I like to believe that there's something more than myself that's looking out for me. Something bigger that created me and is allowing me to live. And, when my time is done, then hopefully can go back to where it all began. So, first poem. "It doesn't matter your size, big or small. The most important thing is how you get up after you fall. You might hit the ground with a perfect shot. Get up quick and say, is that all you got? Jesus came down and set the standard he did set. We can be forgiven, don't forget. What seems to be easy is actually super tough. You just must work on yourself because you'll never do enough. Stop worrying about others and how they act. Reap what you sow, that's a fact. With a humble and kind heart you will take on the day. Just rise to the challenges in every way. You might get lost along the way after you stumble, but your faith in God to help find strength and not crumble. God gave us power to create life ourselves. At the end of the day, that is our true wealth. Having a house and expensive car does nothing and it won't take us very far. Prayer to God, thanking Him for all that you got. The real test is trying to return to Him in case you forgot." So because of this religious stance and my belief in God and where people die, it's, I don't think it's so black and white as heaven and hell. But if you do good things will come to you and you'll go to a good place. You do bad things will come to you and you'll go to a bad place. But that kind of comes along with what I was talking about the other day when I was saying, who cares about impressing people on this earth, because at the end of the day, they're nobodies. They're not going to determine where you go in this life. They're not. I mean, they're not. They can't determine anything for you. So, why give somebody on earth that power to control you? You know, it doesn't make any sense. Especially, you know, like I said, they're a bunch of nobodies. And you know, when I started changing my views on things and stopped really carrying the persona of, you know, baddest thing that walked on the earth, the most cockiest, and, you know, I kind of just toned it down to where it's just kind of just me, just like whatever, la da da. You know, I'm happy, carefree. Just it is what it is. I'm not saying I don't get mad. I'm just saying I'm a lot more relaxed and let people just do them, and don't really care if somebody comes in acting like a tough guy, and I'm just look at him and just kind of like, okay, sure, you're tough, man, whatever, and just kind of let things go. You know, now that I get older, I realize I don't have anything to prove to anybody else. I don't need to prove to anything. You know, this whole, I gotta impress and prove things. No. Now, what I need to do is make sure I'm a good example to my family, because that's who my family is looking to lead them and guide them to do things. You know, when my little girls are looking for examples, they're looking at me. And so when they go to find a guy, if they find somebody like me, I'm going to be very pissed off, just for the fact that I am not who I want to be right now. And my words and the things I do right now are not up to par with what I expect from myself. But I'm working every day to try to get better and try to do better and try to speak more kindly and do more service, and you know, because at the end of the day, that's all that really truly matters. You know, how happy your family is and if they're taken care of or not. Okay, the next poem is called Timing. I received talent from God that he did lend to help confuse minds and heal and mend. What was lost can be found, just diligently search and look around. As warriors, we try to improve each and every day. We're always changing the game plan, adapting in a different way. Safety is found when we properly plan. That is something normal people won't understand. We make plans with people and it sounds fun. When the day comes, we flake out and run. The day is here, but anxiety comes on quick. Your stomach gets upset and you vomit, you're sick. You keep trying to do things outside your comfort zone. Some of these personal and social skills you have to rehome. After so many times people had enough, it's way too difficult and way too tough. People stop inviting you and you pull further away. Let's just hope you last another day. You placed the gun into your head to check the list, completed everything. Just then the phone began to ring. The voice, God loves you and he has a plan for you. It was up to you and what you do. I understand that I understand more than anybody that having a lot of these anxiety issues, having issues of going out in public or being in large crowds, because I would get anxiety real bad and I'd just throw up before we did anything. And it's not that I couldn't handle it. It was just not knowing everything. You know, my wife loves to go to Country Thunder. It's one of her favorite things to do. And, you know, nothing bad's ever happened there. But, man, I go and I am just the most on-edged, tightened up person, like ready to snap in like 2 seconds. Just if anything happens. I'm just that anxious. But everybody else is just, you know, having a good time and, relaxed. And I'm not. I am just wound so tight that that band is about to snap. And, so I can't do things like that. But I keep trying to do other things, will I ever get to be back to where I feel comfortable in large crowds again? Maybe. It kind of depends, maybe the circumstance or where we're at or what we're doing, or, because every crowd is different. Because I can go to Universal Studios and there's a lot of people there, but it's just different because it's all dispersed and everybody has their own things and they're going their own ways, and I'm a lot more comfortable there. But that poem, Timing, was actually about people just kept asking, hey, come on out, come out. And, they kept trying and they couldn't. And eventually everybody faded away. And then that person had nobody. And right when things were going the toughest and they were going to end it all, the phone rings. And it was somebody saying, hey, haven't heard from you in a while. And basically was able to save that person's life because that person was able to realize that, they were making mistakes, and, it wasn't the plan that they had, but, they're going to keep trying now and not give up and hopefully go down do the right courses of action to try to get better. And I think that's what it's like for a lot of us. More single people than married, because married people have, their families to lean on and more of a support structure, where single people don't. Once a single person isolates, they're just by themselves, and unless somebody goes and checks on them or, calls them, no one's going to know anything about them. They could be just on their own, self-medicating, doing whatever, and, making bad decisions, because all their people left them. But if you ever get the feeling you should call somebody, call them. It comes from there's a reason behind it. I don't know the reason. But if you think you should call somebody, then definitely call them, check up on them, just see how they're doing. I believe it's part of God's plan to, a way of checking on people, just putting little thoughts in other people's heads, just seeing how somebody else is doing. But, the way I see it, you can't be wrong. You can't go wrong asking for help from a higher power. At the end of the day, what did you lose? You did only good things? Oh, darn, you didn't lose anything. If anything, you made the world a better place, So, I just hope that if you're one of the people struggling, there's help. There's 800 numbers. There's hotlines. Reach out. Don't do anything stupid. And if you just want somebody to talk to or have questions, hey, shoot me an email at forginghelppoetry@gmail.com. We'll answer any questions you have. I get the anxiety. I get the isolation. I get just not wanting to do a lot of things with a lot of people. And it's I am definitely no stranger to it. But I appreciate the people that support me and been watching this channel, and people have been buying the book, and people that have been just buying books to donate, so that way I can start having classes, and people that are resistant to go therapy, like I kind of was, at least they'll have a healthy avenue to release some of their thoughts and get the ball rolling in the right direction. But once again, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Appreciate your time, and make good decisions.